Hey, good morning. I am here out in my garden this morning and it's a busy day, so I thought I'd just do a quick video. And instead of my daily routine today, well, I'm always going to have to water, but I've decided that my beautification chore today is going to be to enjoy my garden. I'm just going to walk around, and I thought I'd bring you along with me as I do that. So let's go take a stroll through the garden and see what interesting things there are to see. So this is the patio, what I call the patio fire pit area side of my garden. And one of the areas that I enjoy sitting in. I like to sit in those chairs right there and have my coffee in the morning. It's just a really peaceful spot, but the sun does show up pretty early. So when it does, I move. So I'm not staring into the sun. This is my Alexandra of Kent, Princess Alexandra of Kent bed. I've got some Aster fracari here, and I just planted these. These are Japanese forest grass, the variegated kind. And I think it brings a nice little pop of a little bit of yellow, which I don't actually really like yellow, but this isn't, too jarring of a color, but it's nice. It brings a little bit something different. And then there's some pretty pink blossoms on my rose. And then in here I've got verbena and bearded iris, hardy geranium, two different types of verbena, the ground cover kind, a sunjoy barberry, and this buddleia. This is the pugster blue with some sedum called lemon coral planted underneath it. And then I've got a matching buddleia with fan flower, more sedum, this carpet rose that is living its best life, a pittosporum, kufia, some pretty annuals, supertunia, royal velvet, sweet alyssum, and then I've got my Gertrude Jekyll and my Jeannie LaJoy on this side of the trellis. And then here I have the number one bird feed here. They love this one. And then I've got a Gertrude Jekyll and a Renee here, but the Renee hasn't bloomed yet. And as you walk through the garden, got a few things tucked here and there. I have a variegated gardenia. I kept saying, wanting to say geranium, like that's not it. I've got some surefire begonias, a weeping redbud, this proven winner's salvia that's living its best life. I put in the John Creech sedum, I think, stonecrop, and they've really taken off. It looks great. And then I've got hens and chicks in this metal container, which I really like that from, I saw that in someone else's garden. I really enjoyed it. And then the rest of this patio, I'll move over this way. This outer ring, I've got, trying to do a whole line of Cousin It's, and then more of the verbena homestead blue. I've got the ajuga parakeet, some feathered friends petite parakeet, which is really a mouthful. Some veronica, helichrysum, agara. So this is filling in nicely all along here. I've got a geranium, a Roseanne geranium, hardy geranium, some ice plant, chatalpas. So just some pretty things to look at. Look at this lantana. Isn't that pretty, that color? Just love it. This whole bed is such a pretty, colorful. My Shasta daisies are on their second flush. I've got a Ito, I'm not sure what's the correct pronunciation. Peony here, can't wait. I just planted it and I got it late, so I won't get any blooms from it. And to be honest, I don't have a lot of luck with peonies, so fingers crossed that it actually does something. I talked about this El Nino in a previous video that I discovered I was giving it way too much water. So I pulled the water off and I'm just waiting to see if it rebounds. But the leaf curl, like the bottom leaves were curling and they're now looking to be turning almost a little bit, just the startings of yellow, which is a sign of overwatering. So I'm just waiting to see if that makes a difference. But this is the other one. If you ask me, it looks thirsty. These blossoms, I don't know, not sure. They look maybe like they could be thirsty because they just look a little, I don't know, maybe not. Anyway, this is I love this inner ring, or I don't even know what you want to call this, but it's just so pretty. These are all the colors I love, the pinks and the purples and the corals. Isn't that pretty? And then I've got my hardy hibiscus in the background, my sea lavender, my 2 crossvines that I got, they're gonna go right there. I'm gonna do 2 trellises, which are on order right there. So that will fill in this space. And I've in between these 2 trees, go up above the fence a little bit. So I'm excited about that. So this just is like my favorite thing. I just love walking through my gravel path. I love hearing the crunch of the gravel and just seeing all the pretty things. I mean, just look how pretty that is. The pink cashmere against the hardy hibiscus, that pretty purple. I have a little volunteer viola here. Isn't that cute? I had a bunch of viola and they reseeded themselves everywhere, but then I do have some help with weeding, and he came in and he weeded them all out, not knowing what they were. Oh well. So that's my beautification for today. Day 8, I think it is. And just as a note, this is supposed to be the 30-day challenge, but I have some personal things that I have to do, go and take care of tomorrow. I'm having some surgery and I won't be able to get out into the garden for a couple days. So I'm actually putting my 30-day challenge of garden love on hold until I am well enough to get back out into the garden. So I'll try to, post when I am able to. So if you've made it this far, thank you. I appreciate you sticking with me. And I hope you enjoyed this walk through the garden with me, just as a nice, refreshing way. And I'll just continue walking and I'll put some pretty music on and you can listen to it while you look at all the pretty things with me.